Beginning in March, the U.S. Census Bureau will invite households across the country to participate in the 2020 census. But what is the census? Simply put, the census is a head count of every person living in the United States. To be sure the government represents the people, the U.S. Constitution requires a population count every 10 years. Ever since 1790, the census has determined the number of seats each state receives in the U.S. House of Representatives. It is, and always has been, a cornerstone of our democracy. We still use it to determine representation, but leaders also use the data to make decisions. Your response helps guide planning for the future of our communities. The 2020 census will help inform decisions on how billions of dollars are allocated annually for critical public services like roads, schools, hospitals and healthcare clinics, fire and emergency response services, and hundreds of other programs. In 2020, for the first time, you'll be able to complete the census online, by phone, or by mail. It asks a few simple questions, like how many people live in your home on April 1st, including their age and sex, and if there are any children living there. You should know that by law, all census responses are completely confidential, and your personal information cannot be shared with any law enforcement agencies. Every person counts, no matter who you are or where you live. So whether your family has participated for decades or the 2020 census will be your first, we all have a role in shaping the future of our country.
El Paso goes by many names. Sun City, 915. We are known for history, culture, food, and art. In the early 1900s, development and commerce in El Paso revolved around mining and trade. The nationally recognized mission trails are just one example of the many historic sites that portray our region's rich indigenous and colonial history. Since then, El Paso has evolved, and so has its people. We take great pride in nourishing a skilled and capable workforce, with 72% of our population being bilingual. We stay competitive among other large U.S. cities. The region's border location boasts a major trade port. It allows competitive local manufacturers to produce at maximum capacity. Fleet systems are capable of worldwide distribution of parts and products. Our state-of-the-art higher education systems are nationally recognized. The Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center El Paso, the nation's first comprehensive health sciences institution on the U.S.-Mexico border, provides students the opportunities to become doctors, nurses, and researchers. The University of Texas at El Paso offers 74 bachelor's, 74 master's, and 22 doctoral programs. Local government agencies and other economic development organizations help industries become established and expand in our community. The County of El Paso is great for business, but we also keep true to our southern hospitality with plenty of outdoor recreation options. It's easy to keep active in El Paso. We are constantly looking for new industries interested in expansion. We want to offer our help and support in the process. No matter the name, El Paso is proud, strong, progressive. We are El Paso. Come see what we can do together.
The county has been working closely with El Paso City Health Department to help prevent the spread of respiratory viruses such as the flu and COVID-19. In order to help prevent the spread of all respiratory viruses, it is recommended by health officials to wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are unavailable, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people at risk. When coughing and sneezing, please cover your mouth and nose with a flexed elbow or use a tissue. If using a tissue, discard immediately into a closed tin. If you have fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care immediately. If you have cold-like symptoms, please stay home. Thank you for making this a priority in your personal health and the health of those around you.
The 2020 census means more to El Paso than you know. It's what helps our community receive funding for food, school, housing, and healthcare programs. Without you, money that helps keep us healthy, educated, fed, and sheltered could disappear. Participate online by phone or by mail. Everyone in El Paso County must be counted, even children and babies. Your responses are safe and required by law to be kept strictly confidential. Let's come together and fill out the census. If not, we all lose. Together, fearless, we count.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, March 9th, 2020. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Pam Ferroni.
Flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May God bless America.
You may be seated. Thank you.
Judge, commissioners, all who are here in authority today, and all within the sound of my voice, please feel free to join me in prayer if you so choose. Almighty God, maker of heaven and earth, ruler of the universe, we seek your presence in this Commissioner's Court. More importantly, Lord, we desire to enter into your gates with thanksgiving and into your courts with praise. Truly, we are thankful for your unfailing love even when we fail, your compassionate mercy when we make human mistakes, and your priceless forgiveness when we return to you after going our own way. We praise you that you came in the flesh to restore us to our Father. Instead of focusing on what we want from you, today let us be joyful and thankful for all that you have already done for us. We bless your holy name. You are God. You have made us. We are the sheep of your pasture. You are our good shepherd. Your mercy is everlasting, and your truth endures to all generations. It has been 7 months since our community was ravaged by the evil one, yet we see your hand in the kindness and generosity of the wonderful people of El Paso. In your mercy, continue to bind up the invisible wounds and heal the hearts of our El Paso family who suffered trauma, loss, and devastation. May we all be El Paso strong, strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Amen, and so be it.
Amen.
Thank you, Mrs. Ferroni. And once again, thank you for reminding us. August 3rd hasn't gone away. People are still healing. Difficult time for a lot of people, and it will take some time before we are completely healed. But thank you. Sometimes we move on. We asked El Paso to move forward, but not in that sense. Always to keep prayers and be thinking of the people that were victimized on that day. Just a couple of comments. Just want to thank you from on behalf of commissioners and myself to welcome you to Commissioners Court. Always a pleasure to have you and be part of our local government. Just a couple of comments. One is that on the resolutions, if you could remain, do your resolution and go back to your seat and remain there until all resolutions are completed. And then you could, at any point at that time that you could, if you want to leave, and that'll be your choice. And secondly, on public comments, unfortunately, due to legal aspects, we're not able to interact with the person writing the public comments. So just want to let you know that when something is not posted, we can hear them, we're going to address them, we'll do as much as we can, but we cannot interact in public comments. So those two comments. So from there, we'll move forward. Cesar?
Thank you, Judge. Item number 4 is the consent agenda composed of items 4A through 4Q. We'd like to ask for a 1-week postponement of item 4G for the Elections Department. Item 4G read, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the addendum to ADP Workforce Now Master Service Agreement Contract with ADP LLC for March 2nd, 2020 through March 1st, 2021. Funding is available in Special Revenue, Election Services, Elections Expense, contract number 2020-0101. We'd also like to request to pull item 4L for discussion for the Planning and Development Department. Are there any other items that members of the court or the public would like to pull for individual discussion?
Commissioners?
Motion to approve the remaining.
Second.
Commissioner Perez is absent. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. This brings us to item 5A, resolutions. Item 5A, approve and adopt a resolution recognizing the month of March 2020 as Women's History Month celebration in El Paso County, Texas.
Thank you, Judge.
Commissioner Leon.
Commissioners, good morning. I am very honored to be able to read this into the record, and I know we have some folks from the community college. If you don't mind stepping to the podium, I'll read it, and the podium will be yours. And thank you for joining us and showing support for your own resolution. It means a lot.
Thank you very much.
Whereas Women's History Month celebrates the achievements and important contributions of women, and whereas El Paso Community College Diversity and Inclusion Programs established the Diamond Award Program with the purpose to recognize the important contributions, commitment, and excellence in service by full-time female employees, providing the winners with a special day of appreciation. And whereas EPCC Diversity and Inclusion Programs will present its 12th annual Women's History Month celebration entitled Envisioning 2020, Valiant Women Leading the Way. This program has honored approximately 500 women these past 12 years. And whereas in honor of Women's History Month, the El Paso Community College Diversity and Inclusion Programs will have the Diamond Awards luncheon this coming Thursday, March 12th. And whereas the Diamond Awards will go to each 38 full-time employees, female employees at EPCC from all classifications and all 5 college campuses. And whereas keynote speaker, Ms. Cristina R. Sanchez, sitting over there, will present and examine this year's theme, Envisioning 2020, Valiant Women Leading the Way, to engage, inspire, and celebrate the achievements of notable and ordinary women. And whereas it remains to be our responsibility as citizens to promote awareness and acknowledge women's history. Now therefore be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court hereby recognize and celebrate the month of March as Women's History Month in El Paso County. Signed this 9th day of March, 2020 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Olga, the podium is yours.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here once again, Judge Samaniego and Commissioners, celebrating Women's History Month, as we've done other months recently. You're very gracious to provide a resolution for us. You'll see that I'm accompanied by our committee and our Vice President, Josette Shaughnessy. We have Luz Roberts, Lee Vasquez, Arlene Alacon, Michelle Worsham, and Chloe King. We're here before you not only to invite you, yes, it is a women's luncheon, award ceremony, but men are always welcome. I wanted to say that it is, as you mentioned in the resolution, we are honoring 38 women this year, but we've done this 12 years, and we awarded 50 last year because of our 50th anniversary. So we have had close to 500 women honored at our institution that we're very proud of. So again, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be here today and to provide a resolution that we can hang in our offices. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. I was mentioning to Ms. Chavez that sometimes we have folks that don't show up for their own resolution, and I know that over the years you've always, matter of fact, EPCC has always come and made an impact to this court and to our community. So thank you for being here, and thank you all for what you do. Ms. Shaughnessy, I know I've met you before, and congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, certainly on behalf of Dr. Serrata and our Board of Trustees, we want to thank you for this recognition and recognizing El Paso Community College women that are part of this El Paso community and so important to the well-being of this community. So thank you so much.
Well, just the fact that El Paso community is involved, it always makes it very, very exciting. Community college is so much a part of our community. As you could see, the 50 years and Dr. Serrata and everything that he's done. Of course, we're very proud. These two young ladies here, Betsy Keller and Christina, and a lot of our incredible Joanne, also our attorney, Bernal, and very proud of that. Having 3 daughters, 7 granddaughters, and four sisters sort of makes me a little not too biased about the situation. But thank you for highlighting that and for the things that community college does to remind us of some of the great things that are in our community. So thank you, and good luck on your luncheon on the 12th. Thank you.
I don't have to say anything. I'll just move it. I'll just move it along. That's great. Will do. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know if he was on his way. Item number 5B, approve and adopt a resolution declaring the month of March 2020 as Brain Injury Awareness Month in El Paso County, Texas.
Well, I have the honor, and with my background in mental health, this is very, very special recognition, especially in the area of prevention. So many things that we could do to prevent situations, and this is one. As you'll hear about this, you'll understand how much we could do by awareness and prevention. Whereas according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 2.87 million Americans sustain a traumatic brain injury, TBI, each year, either in isolation or isolated with other injuries, including over 837,000 of these health events among children. A traumatic brain injury is a major cause of death and disability in the United States. Whereas these injuries are largely the result of falls, being struck by or against an object, motor vehicle crashes, and intentional self-harm, and the rate of sports and recreational-related injuries rising with a diagnosis of concussion or traumatic brain injury presenting future challenges for our youth. Whereas the severity of TBI range from mild to severe and may result in a lifetime of cognitive, physical, emotional, and behavior challenges, early, equal, and adequate access to care will greatly increase overall quality of life and will enable individuals to return to home, school, work, and community. Whereas following the appropriate safety measures such as wearing a seatbelt, using appropriate safety seat cars, never driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, wearing safety sports equipment, and conducting a home safety check, we can prevent many such injuries. And whereas the Brain Injury Association of America leads brain injury awareness through the campaign, Change Your Mind, through advocacy, awareness, and education. Family members, friends, and members of this community can play a central role in enhancing the lives of our citizens with traumatic brain injury by empowering them and supporting them to live as independently as possible. Whereas March has been designated as Brain Injury Awareness Month to promote public awareness on the extent, causes, consequences, treatment, and prevention of traumatic brain injury. Now therefore be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and the Commissioners Court do hereby declare the month of March 2020 as Brain Injury Awareness Month. Signed this 9th day of March 2020.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Christina, the audience. Thank you, Christina. Is anybody else with you that?
Yes, I have a group here from
Yeah,
Neuro
if they don't mind coming up, I would appreciate that.
Okay.
If you can. If not, you could stay seated. Thank you so much. Christina?
And I'm Kaylee. I'm
I mean-
filling in for
Oh,
Christina.
okay.
She's not here today.
Thank you.
And I should make a correction. We're a group from Neuro Restorative and also Light After Brain Injury Support Group.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Good morning. March has been designated to be Brain Injury Awareness Month in order to bring awareness to the community that an acquired brain injury, which includes insult to the head, strokes, tumors, among others, can happen to anyone at any time and anywhere. However, some injuries can be prevented. For example, by wearing a helmet when playing sports, riding ATVs or motorcycles, or going to regular checkups with your doctor to be checked for risk factors for stroke. Next, I have a few brain injury survivors who are willing to share their stories with you today. The first is Bill Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Bill Gonzalez, and I know probably most of you don't recognize me without my top hat and monocle, but you know. Anyway, I had a stroke November 30th, 2018, and when the paramedics came, they asked me to grab their hands and feel, and it was with a lot of force. So they were like, "Well, we don't think you had a stroke." So I went to UMC. They did 2 CT scans, didn't find the stroke until they did the MRI the next day, and they found a small blood clot in my brainstem, which affects my vertigo and nausea. So I was pretty bad shape at first, but I had to do a lot of therapies, and I'm thankful for Neuro Restorative because it really helped me. I'm a lot better. Believe me, they know I've gotten a lot better, and maybe not 100%, but I'm very thankful for Neuro Restorative for helping me with the therapies, and I'm back at work part-time doing some therapies, and I should get a full release next month. And I just wanted to thank everybody, and it's not an easy process, but I'm very just very thankful to be here. Thank you.
And thank you for your courage and for your testimony so that others can be aware. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a testimony from Leo Mendoza.
Good morning, Leo.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. My name is Leo Mendoza. I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor and a stroke survivor. Unfortunately, I had my accident on December 22nd, 2009 on the Northeast. I'm very blessed because at the time that I sustained my traumatic brain injury, because I was a fitness instructor, they couldn't find my pulse. And so I would later meet the nurse at Walmart, and as I was walking in, he said, "Mr. Mendoza, you look so good. You look so great." And I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, "Thank you." And he said, "When I opened your body bag up, I was surprised." I asked him, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, I had wheeled you inside to the morgue, and when I was leaving, opening the door, I heard a very bad noise. I turned and I saw your clipboard." He comes down to pick up the clipboard, and he hears me scratching through the body bag. So I'm blessed by God that I'm alive. After so many years of therapy and physical therapy, I used to be at Mentis, which is now Neuro Restorative. I've learned no 2 brain injuries are the same. We're like snowflakes. We're very different. And I'm very appreciative of Light After Brain Injury, Neuro Restorative, for the opportunities they give us for meetings, for many of us to come together, because unfortunately, some of us don't look injured unless you can see the trach on my neck or my missing left ear or the scars on my brain, the scars on my eye. I cannot take off my skull to show you the scars in my brain. So awareness is needed very much, and hopefully that will be given to all of us. Thank you all for letting us, for giving us a chance to hear us.
No, and thank you. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful story. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Vicente Sanchez, and I had my stroke October 23rd, 2019. My profession is I'm an elementary school principal, okay? And my message to all is, take care of yourselves. There's a lot of signs that, the body gives us, and we need to listen to those signs. We need to take care of ourselves. I'm very blessed, because I got a chance to work with the Neuro Restorative Center. And even though they tell us it's your hard work, it's what you do, you know what, their encouragement is what keeps us going through, because there's days where our body doesn't really react to everything, and they're still there telling us that it was a good workout, that we did very good. And when our body knows that it really can't do much, I'm very thankful for everything they've done for us. Their support has been immense. I've been able to get back to work, on a part-time basis, get back to my kids at school, which is awesome. Back to my 12-year-old, who went through a lot, during these 4.5 months, that I've been in the hospital and in the center. And, I've just been blessed because the support from the center and from my family has been tremendous. My employees, with their text messages and cards. And of course, everybody's prayers, is what has been keeping me going. And also, I'm the person that likes to push things to the limit. I know that when they find out that I walk from over there to here without my walker, I know that I'm going to hear it at the center, But I keep thinking that I got to work, and I got to work harder, They tell me to put bars at home, and I tell them no, because you know what? I plan to get back to where I was 100%, and I don't want to be dependent of all of these other things where I get in a comfort zone and don't continue working hard to get my body back at 100%. But thank you for everything. Thank you for the recognition, for everything that you guys do, and for listening to us this morning. Thank you very much.
Vicente, and thank you for that great heart of yours. Thank you for sharing that.
Hello, gentlemen, ladies. My name is Victor Rios. I was a motor vehicle accident survivor. I was a passenger in a convertible. I was thrown 30 yards, and I landed on my head. Was in a coma for 5 weeks, in a wheelchair for 2 years. I was told I was never going to be able to walk, work, or go to school. I've done all of that. So I am blessed. We are blessed to have friends and family and loved ones and their prayers supporting us daily. We still need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't supposed to speak, so I'm not ready.
That's okay.
But anyway, I just want to thank God because we're here. We have our survivors, which I call our warriors. I see another survivor right in front of me, and I thank God for all the survivors, brain injury survivors. And the reason I became, my name's Virginia Francis, and I want to thank all of you for this day that, for Brain Injury Awareness Month. My name is Virginia Francis, and I became an advocate for a brain injury when my son, Patrick Francis, suffered a traumatic brain injury playing football. It's something that you'll never forget because it's always with you. We started a nonprofit organization because of the brain injury and what we've gone through. We don't want anybody to go through what we've gone through. So we started a nonprofit, and it's called Light After Brain Injury. And the reason we want to raise awareness like all of you do too. And we want to help others that have gone through what we've gone through. It's been a long, long journey. Our journey started on September 11th of '99. So I'm so thankful that we have Patrick, and I'm so thankful for all the survivors. And also we started an event called Light Up the Heavens. He's wearing a T-shirt. We actually came and asked permission on our first Light Up the Heavens here. We came and asked permission to have it at Mentis. That was our first Light Up the Heavens. We had it at their parking lot. Mentis, which is now Neuro Restorative, have been very supportive with our organization, with our crazy ideas and not so crazy ideas, because, I mean, it's something that helps us to raise awareness. But our next Light Up the Heavens, usually we celebrate it the last day of March, but we changed it because a lot of people weren't able to attend, so now it's going to be March 27th. And the reason, it's a nationwide event, but we started it here in El Paso because this event is to not only just to raise awareness, but it's also to celebrate all the brain injury survivors and to honor the ones that have been taken. So we, would like to invite everybody to attend the 6th annual Light Up the Heavens, which will be at the Botanical Gardens. And we would really love to see everybody come and celebrate all our survivors that we have here. And we will be honoring the ones that have been taken because of a brain injury. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else that would?
If I can, I'm sorry, if I can tell, I forgot to mention that every third Wednesday of the month, a lot of us survivors, stroke, traumatic brain, and acquired brain injury survivors, we meet at Providence Hospital, and we come together, try to network, and just become one big family. So
excellent.
That's the third Wednesday, right? Yes, Sierra Providence.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
And anybody else? Patrick is speaking with his beautiful smile and his thumbs up, and he does a little jig. I wish you could see what I've seen here in front of me. And I've known from before, I knew Patrick, and he always is delightful to be. Commissioner Leon?
Yes, as you just said, you may have something on your mind, but I looked over at Patrick, and his smile is just contagious. He changed my whole disposition towards this morning. And Mr. Mendoza, I think you mentioned that your accident was 2009, and I too had a severe head injury, but I've been very blessed. So congratulations. Thank you for sharing your stories with us, because it's not only us here, but there's people at home and other locations tuning in. So congratulations. Good.
Patrick, thank you. Thank you for your beautiful attitude, that smile that never ends. And he does a little jig, right, when he's happy. And the cross. No, thank you. And, the next time you worry about those small things in your life that don't mean much, please remember these stories. Remember the blessings that we have in our life. And thank you for sharing. Like I said, the prevention is so important, that the way it impacts lives and our families and things that happen beyond that. But thank you for sharing. These testimonials are very powerful, and whatever we could do, from every one of the commissioners I know is very interested in mental health and helping. And so we do appreciate that. This is very special, especially, like I said, being in mental health, sometimes I don't get to do as much as I used to in the area, other than promote it. And so this is an opportunity for me as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Just a second. Commissioner Robinson.
There's a couple other groups. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the experience that you are sharing with us here and the public in general. But we need to recognize that this is a small sampling of people that have issues that are being addressed today. We fail to remember that we have law enforcement officers that sustain injuries of that nature. Our soldiers that we send in combat, there's a former Marine right there. We need to recognize that it's not a small problem. It's not my problem. It's our problem, because we need them to be well and healthy and productive members of our society, but because of their situation, they're not at this time. The teacher, the principal says, I'm going to get back to my school, my children. So we need to remember those things, and remember those things, and not just to sugarcoat it and say, well, it's nice seeing you, we support you, but I always say, don't talk about it, be about it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now.
The queso. Love the iPhone. Take 10 of them.
Item number 6 is public comment. We have 3 members of the public wishing to speak to us today, Judge. We're going to begin with Froilan Cepeda.
And those that were here for the resolution, you're welcome to leave if you wish. You would love for you to stay, but we also don't want to keep you from your busy day. So you're very welcome to.
Buenos días, me llamo Froilán Cepeda Galaviz, no hablo inglés. Estoy aquí para saludarles primeramente y recordarle al señor Vicente Pérez que nos tiene en el olvido. Yo pertenezco a la colonia Lakeways Estates, al desierto de Horizon. Recordarle que necesitamos drenaje, gas natural, agua en la calle Urania, el parque para niños, semáforo en Ascensión y Horizon. Todo esto lo han dado tramitando. Yo personalmente lo único que se ha hecho en la colonia es por mi trabajo. Semáforo en la Ascensión y Horizon, el lugar de drogadicción y otras cosas que está en la calle Darrington, que momentáneamente está cerrado, pero ya lo han cerrado y lo han abierto otra vez, y pienso que ese lugar está haciendo mucho daño y confusión. Una calle de tierra que está enseguida de la Ascensión, que es pequeña, que necesitamos sea pavimentada y además se le pongan mínimo 4 topes. En la calle Vina, en la colonia, necesitamos que sea supervisada y se le pongan mínimo 6 o más topes, porque la gente lo usa como autopista y ya hubo una muerte hace unos 3 o 4 años pasados ahí en esa calle. Por lo tanto, le ruego al señor comisionado que le corresponde que al menos nos haga una visita de cortesía, porque tengo varios años batallando. Él tiene 4 o 5 reelecciones y ni siquiera de cortesía nos ha visitado. El Señor Jesucristo los bendiga, señores.
Muchas gracias, señor.
Muchas gracias por permitirme hablar.
Gracias.
We need somebody to translate or kind of give a summary for the public on what was said. Can somebody do that? A quick summary.
Did you get
Commissioner
that?
Stout.
The gentleman came to bring up some issues that he and his neighbors have with the area that he lives in out by Horizon. I can't remember all of
Lakeway Estates.
I can't remember all of the issues, but talked about some streets needing speed bumps. Talked about needing gas, needing water. Talked about I guess there was a death on one of the streets where there aren't speed bumps a couple of years ago, and he's asking for Commissioner Pettis to pay them the courtesy of visiting them out there and speaking with them.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And just so the court's aware, Public Works has been made aware, and one of the streets that he has talked about wasn't in the county's inventory. It's now in the county's inventory, but it's going to take some time to get it paved. Lakeway Estates is east of Ascension. It's a colonia that's far east, and like many of the areas that are very far east lack a lot of the basic infrastructure, wastewater, access to natural gas, and with the challenges with this is that they're within the Horizon Municipal Utility District, and we're working with them to try to get some of those services provided.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Our next speaker is Mr. Alvaro Nieto. Mr. Nieto is not available to speak. Our next speaker will be Mr. Luis Rucobo.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Luis Rucobo, vengo apoyando.
Señor Rucobo, ¿puede, después de cada frase o 2 frases, puede parar para que yo pueda traducir bien
Sí.
lo que está diciendo? Okay.
Lo único que vengo yo a decir es que vengo apoyando al señor Cepeda por el mismo problema, eso es todo lo que tengo.
Okay, so he wants to say that he's here in support of Mr. Cepeda and bring with the issues that he's brought up.
Es todo.
Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Se lo agradezco. Thank you, Commissioner. Caesar?
And this is all the speakers that we have signed up. Is there anybody else that wanted to speak in public comment? This concludes public comment, Judge.
Thank you, Caesar.
This brings us to item number 7A, presentation. Present a certificate of recognition and a flag flown over the El Paso County Courthouse to Specialist Desquan Fordham, Combat Aviation Brigade, 1st Armored Division, Fort Bliss, Texas. We'd like to ask for a 1-week postponement on this item, please.
If they were not able to make it, something happened at Fort Bliss.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. This brings us to item number 8, County Administration.
But I guess before we go into the judge, if okay with you, we have our bond counsel here who's come out of town. He has a flight to catch. Is it possible to go into executive session just to take up item number 16B?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So move.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second. Do we need a motion for that?
Commissioners Court will now recess into executive session to discuss item number 16B, as well as item 16A, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Commissioners Court will reconvene to take official action.
or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@upcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the Purchasing Department at telephone number 915-546-2048. All county offices will be closed on Tuesday, March 31st in observance of the Cesar Chavez holiday. All county offices will reopen on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938. Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048. All county offices will be closed on Tuesday, March 31st in observance of the Cesar Chavez holiday. All county offices will reopen on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938. Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barrid started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Commissioners' Court has reconvened into regular open session. We're going to continue on with item number 9 from purchasing. Approve and authorize the purchasing agent to close out the solicitation RFP 20-015, offenders defendant paid electronic monitoring self-monitoring service for the County of El Paso with permission to resolicit.
Deborah Correjo, Trumbull County Purchasing Agent. In this case, I'm requesting that you authorize me to close down a currently active RFP that we have on the street. We've received vendor questions, and the department feels, and I agree with them, that some of these questions were so good, they need to be addressed by updating the specification to account for the information that we've come into possession of. If you agree, the department itself has already started rewriting the specifications, and they feel they have solved some of the questions that were asked so that when the vendors see these again, they will understand implicitly what the county desires. One of the reasons I'm requesting to do this now before the item closes and vendors take the time and expense of putting in a response for something that may change later, it not only saves the county time, but it saves the vendor a lot of headache.
Motion to approve the closeout?
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 10, approve the purchase of 90 laptop computers, model Dell Latitude 5401, and accessories for the Information Technology Department using Region 19 Contract 19-7327, awarded to SHI Government Solutions of Austin, Texas, in the amount of $167,757. Purchasing approved on March 2nd, 2020. Funding is available in CP Replacement 20 Equipment Non-Cap Laptops.
Deborah Correjo, Trumbull County Purchasing Agent. By authorizing us to use the Region 19 contract for this Dell award, you are allowing us to take advantage of some very competitive pricing. The computers themselves are approximately 40% off of retail, and all the other items below are approximately 15%, and that's an incredible discount for this number.
Move to approve. This is what we talked about last week?
Yes.
Okay.
Second?
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion
Hey, Deborah.
carries. Item number 11 from Judiciary and Corrections. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Fifth Amendment to Agreement for Individual, Family, and Parenting Skill Counseling with Pinnacle Social Services, LLC, from February 28, 2020 through May 31, 2020. Funding is available in special grant, Family Drug Court 20 operating expenses, contract number 2020-0180.
Judge, Commissioners, I don't know if they're back on their way, but this is a Fifth Amendment to an existing contract for these skill counseling. Here we go.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Belinda Acuña, and I am the Specialty Court Coordinator. And we are just asking for an extension for the contract for Strengthening Families. The RFP does go out March 12th, but the contract did expire February 28th, so we do need to be covered meanwhile.
Move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Grant applications. Approve the submission of county grant applications as listed and described. If awarded, all grant award agreements will be brought back to the Commissioners Court for final acceptance and approval.
This item, go ahead.
You want to go to 12?
Cedar.
Or-
No, number 12?
Okay. Item number 12, approve and authorize the Planning and Development Department to submit a new grant application in the amount of $15,900.67 to the Emergency Food and Shelter Program, National Board's Round 2 application period of the supplemental appropriations for humanitarian assistance funding for transportation costs incurred between January 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2020, subject to approval by the County Attorney's Office. No county matches required. Contract number 2020-0215.
Judge, Commissioners, this is our application to be reimbursed for our cost that we've incurred for transporting for migrants in El Paso. We have not had any requests for transportation for the last couple months, but this is all of our expenses up until that point. And this is a second round of funding that has been released, and so they seem to be doing it in tranches, but this is the expenses we've incurred during this time.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 13, approve and authorize the El Paso County Sheriff's Office to submit a new application to the U.S. Department of Justice COPS hiring grant in the amount of $2 million with a cash match of $688,741.92 to be paid by the Clint and San Elizario Independent School Districts from October 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2023, subject to approval by the County Attorney's Office. No county match is required. Contract number 2020-0175.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Commander Ryan Urrutia, El Paso County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning.
This is a grant that we had once applied for, and we had our SROs under it 2 years ago. So we were reapplying for the grant. The school district is paying for the SROs at this time. There are 16 in place, 14 with the Clint School District, 2 with San Elizario, and this would help with those after this contract is over.
So move.
Second.
And just for a clarification, SRO means what?
School Resource Officer.
Thank you.
Yes.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 14, approve and authorize the El Paso County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division, Narcotics Section, to reapply for the Office of the Governor Criminal Justice Division Local Border Security Program Grant for overtime and mileage reimbursement in the amount of $568,427.52 from September 1st, 2020 through August 31st, 2021. No county match is required. Further authorize the county judge to sign the accompanying resolution, contract number 2020-0206.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant Jerome Washington of the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. I'm the supervisor for the narcotics unit. Yes, we are here to ask or request authorization and approval to apply for the local border security grant, again for fiscal year 2021. It is in the amount of $568,427.52. It is strictly for overtime, reimbursement, and mileage, and of course, there is no county match. We have been applying for the grant since 2008. Just in previous years, last year, for instance, we received $279,000, and the year before that, $245,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to go back to item number 4L from the consent agenda, which was pulled. Item 4L should read, and there is a correction to read in, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the letter of intent to the City of El Paso Public Service Board for ongoing updates to the county Stormwater Master Plan Phase 4, contract number 2020-0038. Further approve and authorize the county judge to sign amendment number 4. I'm sorry.
2.
It was Stormwater Master Plan Phase 2, contract number 2020-0038. Further approve and authorize the county judge to sign amendment number 4 in the amount of $54,986.20 to the interlocal agreement with the City of El Paso Public Service Board for ongoing updates to the county Stormwater Master Plan Phase 2, as further reviewed and approved by the County Attorney's Office, contract number 2020-0013. Funding is available in General Fund, Road and Bridge, Flood Control, Stormwater Improvements.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Jose Landeros, the Planning and Development Department. This is a continuation of the Stormwater Master Plan improvements. As the court recalls, in December, our consultant discussed the first phase of the Stormwater Master Plan update and mentioned that we were transitioning from developing only a handful of very detailed cost-benefit analysis for projects to what we're proposing to fund the remainder of today, which is identifying a benefit cost analysis for every project, along with a buyout scenario for the court to determine whether or not a purchase of land and relocation of individuals in the flood zone is more financially beneficial to the county than actual infrastructure construction. So this amendment allows us to complete that work in the second phase, which includes the Upper Valley and also project areas in Tornillo. The reason why it was pulled from consent is because this is actually the fourth amendment to the original contract that we entered into with the PSB in 2009, but it was incorrectly listed as the second amendment in the agenda language. So with that, we'd ask for the court's favorable consideration, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jose.
Item number 8 from County Administration. Receive a presentation and updates on the county's 2020 through 2024 strategic plan.
Judge, Commissioners, Lizelle is going to give you, Dr. Madrigal is going to give you an overview of where we're at in the plan, and then I'm actually going to be jumping into the plan that you can view online and just hitting a few of the highlights to show the court and the public how we are reporting on the plan and some of the items that are actually in each measure, or under each goal.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Today I'm presenting on the progress made towards the 2014 plan. The plan includes 9 strategic goals, including lead justice reform, transform economic development, increase tourism, upgrade infrastructure, promote collaboration and engagement, advance community support, value El Paso family, strengthen health, and optimize internal processes. The components of the plan include 9 goals, 77 objectives, and 188 milestone tasks. In terms of the overall progress of the plan, 36% of the plan has been completed. We have 56% of the milestones on task, and 23.81% have been completed. Specific to each goal, I'll start with lead justice reform. 63% have been completed, 30% are on track, and this includes 6 specific objectives and 27 milestones.
Okay, on that, I'm going to jump over and show you. So she's talking about goal number 1, which is lead justice reform. This is our strategic plan that's available to the public and to any member of the county online. So our 5-year plan, lead justice reform, is the goal that she just covered. You can actually click on and then drill into each one of these items. So these are some of the, what we call milestone tasks. Milestone task 24 JR 1.1 is to create a strategic plan for solutions identified in the Meadow study and the HOK study. We have already created this plan. It's what's been identified in the Meadow studies is included in the plan, and this plan has been shared with the consultants who are doing the HOK study to incorporate those into the plan and their recommendations on the jail study. So that's one that shows complete. Reduce recidivism, it shows 83% complete. You can drill into this item. You can see updated reports on it, and then you can see what we're working on underneath this item. So we've already implemented a weekly pre-trial jail utilization report. We've already implemented a reentry strategy utilizing recidivism and homeless data, providing plans for those reentering El Paso from the jail. And I'm not going to read each one of these to the court, but you can see the things that we've completed and what we're still working on. The remaining item that we have currently under this plan is a full analysis of JP courts and providing recommendations. That will be done. Our timeline on that is actually 2022. By the time we complete the census and measure the impacts of a recent change in statute, and bring back some recommendations on that particular goal. This one, where it shows there's some disruption, we did receive the NACO recognition for justice reform, but what we're also working on is applying for other recognitions for our work in justice reform. So that's why we've left it as some disruption, even though we did already receive the NACO award recognition for our work on justice reform. We have a lot more we're doing in justice reform than what we applied for through NACO, and we're looking for recognition there. But that's goal one, and I'm going to transfer it back over to Dr. Madrigal.
In terms of goal 1, 73% of the objectives and milestones for this goal have been completed. I'm going to move on to goal 2, transform economic development. With 15 objectives and 26 milestones, 19% of the milestones have been completed, 73% are on track, and the goal is 21% in progress.
And on this note, I want to tell you, when Andrea came on board, we actually added some goals into this one. And I also want to mention, when we say 19% complete, one of the things that's important, and I mentioned it to the court in an email previously, is right now we're 10% of the way through a 5-year plan. So we're 6 months into a 5-year plan. That's 10% of the time. However, the total number of milestone actions in here will grow over time. It'll grow and contract. As we complete items, we're closing them out. Each year, as the court identifies priorities and as departments identify priorities and what they're going to do under them, they'll continue to grow. So it's a living document, if you will, because it's a moving plan, because we're continuing to add things that the court identifies as important for us to complete. So in goal 2, transform economic development.
Betsy, in the process, when you add goals, it went through us as well, so that we know?
Oh, no, sir, we don't add goals. You all created the goals. We're just creating milestone actions underneath them. And something that the court did a little bit different this year, and from a departmental and an operational aspect, something that was helpful was you didn't specify what department was responsible and who was going to do what under each goal. And what we ended up with was where we would have never expected, for example, maybe that the domestic relations office could contribute to a specific goal. They went back and worked with their departments and their teams, and they said, how can we help each of these goals? And they identified milestone actions for themselves to help support the overall county, your overall vision and mission to deliver on these goals. And I'll be able to point some of those out as we go through here. But the particular milestone actions, the objectives, these are the objectives that the court created. Increase commercial tax base. So economic development is actually working on establishing some baseline measures and data to be able to really measure how we can impact this. So as you drilled in, you'll see that they're working on analysis to establish a baseline to measure improvement from. And to see what have we impacted. Focus on attracting higher wages, higher wage industries. One of the things that we're talking about is that there's a need for infrastructure to be able to support some of the higher wage industries. So that's one of the goals that is currently underneath there. There's other goals that support this one as well that will reference back to it. Regional workforce development plan, develop and implement impactful, focused economic development strategy. Some of what we're doing here is bringing back and Andrea has already presented to the court the concept of modifying our economic development incentive policy. That will be part of that. Fully developing and investing in Fabens Airport. You've heard a plan from planning and development on what we're going to be doing at Fabens Airport, where we have a business master plan underway currently. Those are all on track, and additional improvements to that area, plus the planning and zoning to go into that area. Increase collaboration with University of Texas at El Paso on aerospace initiatives. A portion of this is already completed. We're partnering with CRRMA and UTEP to master plan UT lands abutting the airport site, and we're increasing collaboration with UTEP on aerospace initiatives. And each of these you can continue to drill into further and see a history of updates. One that we have some disruption is Lockheed site is full of defense contractors. Acquire necessary right-of-way to develop research park facilities within the airport footprint. We've had some disruption here. Staff is awaiting the final completion of the business and development plan to identify which right-of-way we need. There have been initial assessments and potential partnerships identified in the meantime to acquire certain parcels of right-of-way. Let me just expand on this one as well. Support Fort Bliss. We have a Commissioners Court resolution in support of Northeast Parkway. We are we've hired a government affairs manager who will meet with Fort Bliss to see exactly what do they need from the county to help support them. And Andrea is also attending regular leadership meetings with Fort Bliss. And then once we have identified how we can better support them, we'll identify the county role and bring this to Commissioners Court for consideration. But you can see all the objectives that the court adopted underneath this particular goal.
Okay, goal 3, increase tourism. Total of 10 objectives under this goal and 18 milestone tasks. The tasks feed into the objectives, and when we fulfill those tasks, there's progress in the goal. And currently we are at 27% towards achieving the progress of this goal. 17% of the milestone tasks have been completed, and 44% are on track.
Increased tourism is here. And you can see the items here, which ones are underway and how much are completed, and which ones are on track. And all of these are based on where we're at in each of the measures underneath them. So the Mission Trail Master Plan, you know that has been completed. We're working with partners in Mexico and New Mexico to continue the UNESCO designation along the corridors. We're implementing the Mission Trail Master Plan now. Let me go back here. The historic, completing the historic district survey, the countywide historic asset master plan, and implementing a robust heritage tourism marketing plan. These are underway, but we are waiting. The reason why there's yellow for some disruption is we need to complete the downtown historic district survey in order to move to the next step, which is the historic asset master plan. And so we're on track. We're working on the historic district survey, and then we'll begin the next phases.
It can be simultaneously?
The court asked that we hold off until we were progressing on the historic district survey so that we were sure to include in the comprehensive historic asset master plan any assets that are identified as historic in the downtown historic district survey. We didn't want to complete the plan and not have included those. And here's the some additional feedback on where we're at in the project. So you see the one that has disruption is the historic asset master plan because it's waiting for that particular item. This one, there must be an error on this one. I think it's because we've misreported on this, and we'll get this cleaned up. We are not done with, this is actually a study of the Coliseum, the current RFP that is going out to study the market and feasibility and what's needed to modernize the Coliseum to make it more viable. That is not complete, so we'll need to complete that, fix that, Dr. Madrigal.
Okay. Moving to goal 4, upgrade infrastructure. A total of 8 objectives and 35 milestone tasks support Goal 4. 14% of the milestone tasks are completed, 69% are on track. This goal has 42% progress.
These are the objectives the court designed underneath upgrade infrastructure. So as you know, we're working on building infrastructure to meet the needs of the community. This is everything from evaluating partnership with El Pasoans Fighting Hunger. That's to look at building a kitchen to meet the needs of the nutrition programs, retrofitting the Family Youth Services Center or a community resource center for access to all public services, public-private partnership for a CNG fueling site close to Fabens, establish ability to use second floor of OME. This is underway right now. We're actually in negotiations with the city. We also, some of these other infrastructure things we've actually, the courts pulled out to be their own separate objectives, such as expanding the public transit system. We're working with Texas A&M Transportation Institute on this particular item. Constructing a hangar, we've presented a timeline and information on this to the court, on the business plan and then the next steps. Downtown revitalization, this is the facility that the county is working on identifying and procuring for county operations. Supporting the development of fiber infrastructure to create platform for tech boom, higher incomes, and increased employment. Partnering with utilities to push service to non-incorporated areas, and building sustainable neighborhoods and parks for families to thrive, and then also promoting sustainable development.
Okay, moving on to the next goal, Goal 5, promote collaboration and engagement. There's 9 objectives and 15 milestone tasks that support this goal. 20% of the milestone tasks have been completed and 60% are on track. In terms of the overall progress of the goal, the specific goal is at 31%.
Recently, as you know, Commissioners Court voted to approve an employee focused on binational efforts. HR has recently finalized a job description and posted this position to be hired. Another item that we have under this that HR submitted was to achieve Best Place to Work in Texas award. They have this in their HR map, and I believe it's for fiscal year 2022. Census participation, you all are aware that we're already partnering on a major marketing strategy on census participation, and we have several initiatives going on within the county to increase census participation, including a policy Commissioners Court approved to allow county employees up to 8 hours of time to help promote and work on the census. And if there's any of these you all would like me to go into, please let me know.
Goals, we already reviewed Goal 6, right? Goal 7?
No, we didn't do Goal 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Advanced Community Support Services, a total of 8 objectives and 18 milestone tasks support this goal. 17% of the milestones or activities have been completed and 22% are on track. The overall progress for Goal 6 is 20%.
These are the objectives that Commissioners Court had identified under this area. The address public housing, the court had evaluated this matter and made a determination last year on how we were going to address public housing, and that was whether to merge housing agencies or not, and the court decided not to do that. Implement programs to eradicate poverty and increase social mobility. This has also included the housing issue. creating the community liaison position to assist with data collection and intake. The court approved this. This is the position that's working with the Opportunity Center to assist with data collection and intake. And then additional items are expand partnerships with EPCC, trade schools, et cetera. Functional zero list for veterans, reducing chronic homelessness by 25%. I think that's actually supposed to be by October 2020, but I need to double check that. An MOU with Health and Human Services to be a CP and have kiosk at Family Youth Services Center to facilitate access to SNAP and Medicaid. So these are all items that we will continue to work on over the next several years through this plan. Here's one where, this is an example of where DRO is submitting to a community services program where they are working on creating a voucher process to provide bus passes to promote workforce readiness to DRO supervised clients.
Goal 7, Value El Paso Family. We have total of 8 objectives and 16 milestone tasks supporting this goal. 13% of the activities or milestones have been completed and 81% are on track. The progress in Goal 7 is at 23% as of the last updates made to the plan.
The court has worked on several policies through staff on these measures where staff has proposed policies that meet what the court's objectives were. So attracting and retaining an A+ county workforce. We're working on specialized pay for certain types of certifications, like for our fleet mechanics. This also included the pay for constables and deputy constables. A policy proposal I have coming to Commissioners Court for exempt employees, starting with department heads, to try a pilot program to recognize the extra time that their positions require. And we're also looking at, also some of the leave policies that the court has discussed recently would be attracting and retaining A+ county workforce. Creating a plan to increase the minimum county employee wage. The court has approved this with each budget year. This year, we're bringing back a proposal to go to the next phase in that, increasing the minimum county wage. Increase job growth, career progression plans for the county employees. This again includes the pay that goes up with additional responsibility and additional qualifications. We've also created a residency rotation through the Foster School of Medicine, through the Medical Examiner's Office in support of this goal, as well as internship. The internship to employees was specific to the Medical Examiner's Office as well, to students of the not just the medical school, but other internships as well through UTEP and other universities. These ones that have major disruption. This one, for example, integrity screening of applicants. This was a proposal that was included during the work session on strategic planning last year, but the resources that this will require a significant budget allocation by Commissioners Court. So that would be part of what we'll be bringing in this upcoming budget. And several of these policies, again, are underway. We've been asking the court for guidance on parameters underneath those. And the paid parental leave, you've already given us specific parameters to bring back an actual policy.
Goal 8, strengthen financial health. 8 objectives and 20 milestone tasks. 15% of the milestone tasks are completed and 75% are on track. Progress towards achieving Goal 8 is at 31%.
These are the objectives the court has identified underneath strengthen financial health. So align revenue and expense growth. That's part of the budget direction you provided this year that we have shared with departments about controlling our expense growth, to align greater with revenues to alleviate the need of using fund balance. Reducing cost of incarceration with reduced population. Several of these measures are already underway. I don't know why this one says major disruption. I'm going to have to follow up on that because we are analyzing the jail population based on risk and charges, and we are providing judges with feedback, with a regular feedback loop. There's a regular report on that. So I'm going to have to find out why that one, Joel must have mentioned that, made that major disruption, or Scott for some reason. I'm going to have to find out what their disruption is. On this one, I believe it was a timing issue on preparing and submitting a popular annual financial report to GFOA. So this is a new award that we want to apply for, and the timing on it when we're going to have to do it is going to be in this upcoming year. Correct, Wally?
The last goal is Goal 9, optimize internal processes. It's supported by 5 objectives and 14 milestone tasks. 29% of the milestone tasks or activities to fulfill the goal are 29% completed and 50% are on track. Progress towards Goal 9 is at 32%.
These are the objectives the court has underneath optimize internal processes. I want to just note that Dr. Madrigal came on board a few months, I think that we're about 4 months ago. We've had her on some special assignments helping with some studies under CJC, Public Defender's Office, other particular tasks, but she is focusing, and also on this upload and visualization of the strategic plan. She's also preparing to go do some training on implementing a system here, such as Lean Six Sigma. Maybe not exactly that, but based on those principles, something customized to El Paso County. So that's one of these here. Getting her on board was a key step in that. She's also part of evaluating and assessing current business processes, how we're doing them, what we can do, and also helping departments create very meaningful performance measures, and utilizing data to help us with that. This one right here particularly, we've seen a major improvement on. This improved county public works development output was our processes on subdivision applications and the time it was taking us to process those. Since Mr. Londeros has come on board as the planning and development director, he's put a lot of measures in that have helped us improve on that. And we're actually tracking our timelines. We've seen a significant reduction in the timeline it takes us to complete those subdivision applications.
We'll have a more detailed description of each goal and the objectives and milestones on March 19th. Goal 1, Goal 4, and 7 will be reviewed April 16th during the special meeting. Goal 2, Goal 5, and Goal 8. And on May 21st, Goal 3, Goal 6, and Goal 9. And as I understand it, I believe it's going to be a rotation to constantly provide updates to the court. I want to apologize for not introducing myself when I first came on. Soliceli Madrigal with County Administration. It was my first time, and I wasn't focusing on that. I'm sorry.
Welcome aboard.
Excuse me?
Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And Judge, Commissioners, what Dr. Madrigal said is accurate. One of the things I've heard from the court is we're not hearing enough on where we're at on the strategic plan. So what we're going to do is each one of your special meetings will have 3 of the goals on every single month. That way, we'll dive into those goals in more detail and be able to go into what's going on each of those 3 goals. So every month, you'll be getting an update on at least 3 of the goals. We can always discuss other items that are underneath those, but we want to make sure the court's informed on where we are. Our departments are doing a lot of good work on these objectives, and we want to be sure to share that and make that known publicly and with the court.
Betsy, with the amount of studies that we have going on, do you think we could also have an update once in a while insofar as what studies we have out there and where we're at with each study?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Thank you.
And tomorrow, how do you dovetail all this, Betsy?
I'm sorry, sir, what?
Tomorrow, we're meeting, and how does this sort of come together and?
So this gives you just a reminder or a refresher of the objectives you all have previously set. What's really important is when you all meet to go over this again tomorrow, that you keep this in consideration of what you've already created and what resources would it take. You're always, whatever the direction of the court is, we're going to follow. So if you want to add more or remove some and say, we've explored this option, we want to go this direction now, we're going to then modify the plan for the coming fiscal year, because these plans basically started our fiscal year. Most of the time, we need the funding or resources to implement major changes. Sometimes it's policy changes, and we can work on those without funding, but we start working on this for adoption with the fiscal year.
And I appreciate having Dr. Madrigal, because what we don't want is sort of add things on top, and yet we haven't completed others. And like the farmer said when they were giving him advice from the government, he says, I already know 400 things I'm not doing, and you're giving me more advice on top of that. And so we don't want it to accumulate to a point where we're really, adding things on and then not looking at priorities and things we should channel our energy into. There's some very important ones here that we need to catch up on, and so if we keep that in mind, I think it will be very successful.
Yes, sir. And we've already talked about the process this year. We want to do, and I've mentioned this to the court via previous email, but there's some things that we'd like to do differently internally that we've learned over this past year. As far as the plan and like the specifics underneath it, as far as each milestone underneath it.
This is excellent.
There's more we want to do to flush those out, because we saw some duplication of efforts when we did it the way we did this year with departments. We want to do some process improvements to the planning and bring that back to the court for final prioritization before the plan's adopted.
Dr. Madrigal, you have a lot of experience. What do you see in our plan that sort of excites you versus other places that you've dealt with? What's in there that really is, that you look forward to?
Well, I'm coming from UTEP, so UTEP is very exciting. They just got the Research One institution, so I'm excited about bridging my experience from UTEP and here, and the vision that you have along, also with the chief administrator. And really, I dig data, so the more data that we could hone in to really see where we are, I think will be useful for the court to have that information, and will help assess the programs that are currently in place, get the right measures in place, and see how effective and efficient the policies are, and how we can move forward with being more effective and efficient.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Dr. Madrigal.
Item number 15 from Budget and Finance. Approve amendment number 21 to the County of El Paso's 2019-2020 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $190,765, thus increasing the overall budget of $474,625,971.36 to $474,816,736.36.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. The supporting documentation for this week's budget amendment was given to you with last week's weekly highlight. Were there any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. This brings us to executive session. Commissioners Court will recess into executive session to discuss items 16A through 16E pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Commissioners Court will reconvene to take official action.
Again?
Programs that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the items on.
But there's two items.
Commissioners, Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 17, postponed February 24th, 2020 and March 2nd, 2020. Discuss and take appropriate action regarding grievance, County Attorney's Case Number 000120GR. We'd like to make a request to postpone this item, and if I can read, excuse me, we're going to delete item number 17, and if you don't mind, we'd like to do the same with 18. Item 18 reads postponed March 2nd, 2020. Discuss and take appropriate action on the pending claim of Muriel Montrose, County Attorney's File Number 001320LC. If we could have a motion to delete both items 17 and 18 and their corresponding executive session items 16C and D.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. And this covers all the items on today's agenda, Judge.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Well, the judge is buying lunch. Oh, you did already?
This concludes today's meeting at 12:32 p.m.
Veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for this specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@ppcounty.com for any information.